So if you don't know, Stanley Kubrick is one of my favorite directors. I have a list here. I did make a video, but that video is out of date. I would say, okay, so this is how I rank my favorite directors. Stanley Kubrick is number 5. And that's mostly because I've not seen every single one of his movies. Number 4 would be Wes Anderson. Again, mostly because I haven't seen most of his other movies. Number 3 would be Hayao Miyazaki. He's an amazing director. I need to see more of his films. That's a common theme with most of my directors. My favorite director choices. Number 2 would be Ben Stiller. As funny as that is, I love Secret Life of Walter Mitty and Zoolander, so that's why that's there. And then, number 1 is very difficult, but I honestly think it just has to be... Actually, I'm going to have to think about that, because I was really sure, but I don't know. I honestly think Ron Howard's somewhere in this list. I think maybe Ben Stiller's number 1, and then Ron Howard's like number 2 or something like that. I don't know. I got a lot of favorite directors, let's just say that. But Stanley Kubrick is one of the greatest directors of all time. There's no denying that. This is one of the best films ever made. And I have seen it a total of 10 times. And some of y'all be like, why, if you watch this movie so many times? It's because it is one of the greatest films ever made. And you should watch this film twice. And I say twice because there are a lot of people who watch this movie and they go, yeah, that was really boring. And then they watch it a second time and they like, what? This is amazing. And I totally understand that, because it is amazing. It's very difficult to comprehend. I don't fully comprehend it after seeing it 10 times. The use of classic motifs are phenomenal here. The cinematography, every single frame here. This actually 4K comes with a little envelope here that has some frames here. You can see that. And these are just some of the amazing shots. The special effects here are still, when I look at them, I think, did this film come out today? Because it looks like it came out today. There are films today that look worse than this film that is over 50 years old. It is astonishing. It is so influential. The sci-fi genre will never be what it is today. One of my favorite comedies, Zoolander. You wouldn't think a stupid movie like Zoolander would be influenced by 2001, but there's a whole gag where they're like smashing this computer like the monkeys smash a bone. Some of the best editing in this film, in Kubrick films, is found within this film. I mean, it's amazing. I can't really express what this film is in words, because it isn't. It's not a word movie. There isn't dialogue for the most part. It's a lot of just watching things, staring at images, slowly moving. And for some people, they don't want to watch that. And I get that. But I say give it a chance, because there's something about it that is hypnotic and in a good way. It is constantly engaging if you love just cinematography and things like that in general. This isn't like your average movie where someone just walks in and goes, yeah, the movie was fun. No, you don't watch this film to have a good time. It's more of a chore in a sense, but it's a chore that can be engaging if you know what you're getting into. It's a hard film to prepare yourself for. I've seen it so many times because I'm used to films like this. I like films that are slow and with not a lot happening. I like staring at pretty images, because a film can do that to you, make you feel things that I just don't comprehend or fully understand, and that's what this film is. And some people will also be mad that this film doesn't have a clear meaning or idea of what it's trying to say, but it does. It does have a clear meaning and idea of what it's trying to say, but it's very difficult to communicate. And this film is very complicated. And it's not a film that I think, will ever be fully comprehended within his lifetime. Only Kubrick himself knows what this film means, and he's dead. He's not alive to tell us what this film means, and so we kind of just have to look at it and go, wow. And this film always remains as one of the greatest films ever made. And it's not a film that I can easily describe as one of the greatest films ever made, but I felt like I was going to put this in a What Have I Been Watching series on my second channel. But how would I do that? Because there's just so much to say here. There's so much film that it's... I don't know. I don't know how to properly review this movie. So consider this less of a review, even though it's going to be title review, and more of a recommendation of a film experience like no other. Just indulge in it. And if you don't like it the first time, try it a second time. And if you don't like it by the second time, I would encourage you to try a third. But if you can't even do, if you're like, no, I'm not going to do a third, cool. I understand.